And this part of me, this tiny part of me, was on the sun when it self-exploded and whirled into a great storm until all the planets came to be. And this small part of me was then a whisper on the earth. Perhaps it got lost in a fern that was crushed and covered until it was cold. And then it was a diamond, millions of years later. It must have been a beautiful diamond, as beautiful as the star which it had first come. Or perhaps this part of me became lost in a terrible beast, or became part of a huge bird that flew above the primeval swamps. And he said this thing was so small. This part of me was so small that it couldn't be seen, but it was there from the beginning of the world. He called this bit of me an atom. And when he wrote the name, I fell in love with the word. Atom, atom. What a beautiful word.
Will you get down, please? No help. Never any help. Hello? Yes, who's this? You know, I've been meaning to call you to thank you for that lovely rabbit you gave Matilda. She and I just adore it, and it's gotten so big. Well, it certainly was thoughtful, Mr. Goodman. Well, I encourage her at every opportunity at home. Did she say I didn't? Both my daughters have their own desks, and I put 75-watt bulbs right near them. Yes, yes. I think those tests are very much overrated, Mr. Goodman. Well, believe me, she's nothing like that around here. Now, I don't want you to think I don't appreciate what you're trying to do, Mr. Goodman, but I'm afraid it's simply useless. I mean, I've tried everything, but she isn't a pretty girl. I mean, let's be frank about it. She's going to have her problems. Are you married, Mr. Goodman? Oh, that's too bad. But don't you worry about Matilda. There will be a place for her in this world. And like I said, some were born to speak and others just to listen. And do call again, Mr. Goodman. It's been a true pleasure speaking with you. Goodbye. Folk, he must think I'm running a concentration camp. Do you have any idea how embarrassing it is to be accused of running a concentration camp for your own children? Well, it's not embarrassing at all. That school of yours is 40 years behind the times. And believe me, you can learn more around here than from that ugly Mr. Goodman. You know, I feel really sorry for him. I have never seen a man with such an effeminate face. Why, when I saw you speaking to him by the lobster tank, I said to myself, of giving them a reason to call me at 8:30 in the morning, no less.
I didn't say anything.
Well, what do you tell them when they want to know why you stay home once in a while?
I told them I'm sick.
Oh, you're sick, all right. The exact nature of the illness not fully realized, but you're sick, all right. Any daughter that would turn her mother in as the administrator of a concentration camp must be suffering from something he looks like the kind that does his experimenting after sundown.
Or radioactivity.
Radioactivity. Just what that high school needs.
He's going to bring the cloud of chamber.
My, what an outstanding event!
You can actually see.
Giving me a headache.
Please.
No, my dear, the Fortress of Knowledge is not going to be blessed with your presence today. I have a good number of exciting duties for you to take care of, not least of which is rabbit droppings.
Oh, Mother, please, I will do it after school.
If we wait one more minute, this house is going to ferment. I found rabbit droppings in my bedroom even.
I will do it after Mr. Goodman's class. I will tell them I'm ill. I will ask for a sick pass.
Do you want me to chloroform that thing this very minute? Then shut up.
Do you have those kids down there?
Look in the cabinet.
Thing is so full of junk, it drives me crazy.
Maybe it's in my purse. If you don't hurry up, you're going to be late for school.
Well, I very well can't go without Devil's Kiss now, can I?
Doesn't anyone go to school anymore without that stuff all over their lips?
No one I know, except Tilly, that is. And I'll bet if she had some on yesterday, they wouldn't have laughed at her so hard.
Why were they laughing?
The assembly. Didn't she tell you about the assembly?
Ruth, you didn't tell me she was in an assembly.
Well, I just thought about it now. I can't tell you things unless I think about them. Didn't you ever stop to think? Didn't you ever stop to consider that? Was Tilly looking weird as a coot with her old jumper and her raggy slip? And some boy with glasses was giving this stupid speech, and everyone just burst out into laughter until the teachers yelled at them. And then, throughout the entire day, everyone was coming up to me saying, "Oh, is that your sister? How can you stand it?" And then Chris Burns comes up to me and says, "You know, she looks like the one that went to the loony doctors." I could have kissed him right then and there.
Matilda, if you can't get yourself dressed properly before going to go to school, you're never going to go again. And I don't like the idea of them laughing, because when they laugh at you, they're laughing at me. And I don't want you cranking any more atoms.
You're almost out of Devil's Kiss.
Well, if you didn't use so much, it would last longer.
Can I earn a cigarette?
Why not?
Today I saw it. Behind the glass, a white cloud began to appear. He placed a small piece of metal in the center of the chamber, and we waited until I saw the first one. A trace of smoke that came from nowhere and then disappeared, and then another one and another, until I knew it was coming from the metal. They looked like water sprays from a park fountain, and they went on and on for as long as I watched. He told me this fountain would be there for a long time, and if I had wanted to, I could have stayed there for all my life, and it would never have ended. That fountain, so close. I could have touched atom after atom, breaking down into something new, and no one could stop it. It would go on for millions of years, on and on. That fountain,